Welcome back. In the last screencast, we learned how to create new content types, and then we added a whole bunch of different fields, and then we added our first sample. We were creating a new song content type for our song library, and we created a sample song here, and it worked, except that everything's in a weird order, and I don't like the way things are displaying. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit the way this particular content type displays on the page. So to do that, we need to go to structure. We've actually looked at this before in a previous screencast. We actually played around a little bit with this before. I'm going to go back to content types. And again, this is going to be under the manage display section because this is for the song, right? I want to control the way the song displays. I'm going to click on manage display for song. And here we go. Here we see all the different fields here. And these are in a different order than we had under the manage fields tab. When we were entering all the fields, we entered them in a specific order, but they're showing up in a different order here. They're actually showing up here. I think they're actually showing up in the order in which we created the fields. So why don't we change this around? Okay. What would we like to have first? Well, at the top is going to be the song title. Okay, let's actually, you know what, while we're at it, why don't we just open this up over here, and I'm going to go find that content, that song right here. See, type is song, and let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, currently we have the title up at the top, and we're happy about that. That's fine. I'd like to have, let's have the performer first, followed by the songwriters. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the performer first, and then the songwriter. Okay, and that's cool. So we've got performer, songwriter. What do we want next? Maybe we want the BPM next. Okay, and then how about the cover art? There we go. And then lyrics, and then MP3 preview. Maybe we'll put the MP3 preview right here. Sure, why not? We're going to play around with this and see what it's like. Okay, let's go ahead and click save, and let's see how much closer we are to a, an order that makes sense here. Okay. We're just gonna solve one problem at a time here. Okay, so that's good. Raise your fist, performer, reverse grip, songwriters, and there's the BPM. There's your cover art. Okay, there's your preview, and then there's all the lyrics. Okay, good. Well, the first thing I notice here is that all of these things are listed currently with the title, or the label is on top. Okay, the label is above. Why don't we see what this looks like if we put it in line? So I'm going to go ahead and switch these so that they appear in line. Okay, let's just start with the first three, performer, songwriter, and BPM. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay, and let's go ahead and reload that. And then we see, as soon as we reload that, okay, now this is cleaning up a little bit. Fine, performers, reverse grip, songwriters is those three songwriters. There's the BPM. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's go through all the labels here. Cover art. Do we really need the label cover art? Maybe we don't need the label that says cover art. Maybe we can just have the cover art itself and just kind of, be happy with that. I think so. So let's just make that hidden, okay? How about the MP3 preview that's down here? I'd like to have that in line, I think. I think in line would be nice, so I'm going to switch that to inline. By the way, these are completely arbitrary. You can set this up however you want. I'm just trying to make some logical decisions here. And finally, down here, I actually think I am going to have the lyrics appear, and maybe I'll have them appear above. Inline doesn't really make sense because there's a lot of text here, but maybe I'll have the label in lyrics appear above the lyrics there. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And as soon as that finishes saving, I'm going to reload this over here. We're going to see what that looks like. Okay. All right. Okay, that's looking good. So we've got performer, songwriter, there's the BPM, there's the image, way too big right now, but we'll come back to that later. There's MP3 preview, which you can click on and listen to, and there are the lyrics right there. Excellent. Okay, what's the next thing that we see here? Well, why don't we tackle something like this image? This image is way too big. So we've done this before, right? Under cover art, remember, we can't really change this. Well, we don't want to change it. We only have image and hidden. We don't want to change that to hidden. But what we can do right now, it's actually displaying the original image. Let's see what the other options that are available to us here. Under image style, we have thumbnail, medium, large. I think we're going to be perfectly fine with a thumbnail. Okay, I'll go ahead and click update. And let's go ahead and reload that and see what that looks like. Ah, guess what I didn't do? I updated it there, but I didn't click save over here, so we need to save it over here. Yeah, I made that mistake last time, didn't I? Yeah, always good to double check. Okay, there we go. There's a nice little image. Hey, that's looking good. I'm liking that. All right. What's the next thing we want to change? Well, the only other thing I really want to change here is right here, this BPM 120.00. We're never going to specify 120 point, 03 or anything like that. We're never going to get to that level of precision. So why don't we actually change this to display only one decimal mark, okay? And so to do that, I'm going to select here this allows us to control the way the number shows. And there's a few decisions we have to make here. We actually have we can actually specify a 1,000 marker. In this case, let's not have any because we're not ever going to have a BPM in the thousands, okay? How about the decimal marker? Decimal marker will still be a decimal point. The scale, we only want 1. Okay, prefix and suffix, that's moot because we don't have a prefix and suffix, but let's go ahead and click update. And we've updated that. Oh, what did we forget to do? Click on save. Right. Okay, so we saved that. Let's go ahead and reload that over here and see what happens. All right. Looking pretty cool so far, right? All right, so we've got that. Now, you might be thinking this isn't really sexy. Like, what if, can I move this over here? There are modules that allow you to do that, actually, and we will be talking very, very soon about installing modules. But again, knowing it's really difficult to understand how the modules work if you don't already have a good sense of how the default field display works in Drupal. So you got to learn how this works first, and you have to get as good as you can get at just organizing content within here before you start using modules. So this, we've played around with this and we have a pretty good sense. We could change the order of this if we wanted to, right? Let's actually go ahead. You know what if I wanted to move this up here? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And what else is there? Is there something we can do with the image? Do we want this to link to something? What if we wanted it to link to a file? No, let's just link it to nothing. That's fine. Let's click on update here and let's go ahead and click save. And let's go ahead and reload this over here. And now we've changed, there we go, changed the order. That's looking a little better. Okay, so you can play around with this and just kind of tweak the display settings in the way you want. And be aware that yes, there are modules that allow you a lot more control over this as well. Okay, as well as different themes will actually implement this a little bit differently. You'll have different fonts and all sorts of things. Okay, you're well on your way to creating your own content types, okay? So I'm going to let you play around with that. Go ahead and enter some new sample songs in your song catalog. Have fun with that, and um, I'll let you experiment with that. We still have some really cool stuff ahead of us, including understanding how appearance works and how we can change the themes, as well as how to install those modules and how to customize the functionality on our site. So stick around because we've got a lot of cool stuff up ahead. Okay, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.